Right guys, today's little video is about this sliding wall shelf system. We just did a quick little video here on it. I figured I'm still working on getting my skills back up to par on table saw and such. So you'll also notice on these, we went and did the splines. That was the first time I've ever done that. I like doing some of these little smaller projects before I get into a big project. Because if you take a look, my shop is not set up very well yet. It's actually quite dark yet. I'd like to get rid of that shelving system over there, and I just want to put one large workbench with a miter saw station underneath that window. But yeah, so this is basically just kind of the setup so far. I'd like to do many improvements on it. But again, you know, this is just one way of leveling up my skill set. I never did those splines. That was the first. I did it without a jig, which is probably going to be something I do this week while I'm off, and try to get some jigs built for the table saw. So we're going to start this video off like normal at the planer, seeing how I use mostly rough cut. But first, I just want to encourage everyone to go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Let's get going. As I said in the last video while I was making that blanket box, this alder is a pretty nasty material. It's got a lot of bows in it and twists and stuff. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut it down to my rough size before I run one edge on the jointer. I'll go 36 inches, 4 of them. I'll pick through some of the better stuff here. It doesn't have quite so many knots. I'm going to go ahead and make a pair of them while I make one. It's just as easy to make two, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I need a pair. I will go 8 inches for now, just so I don't lose my hand on the jointer. So I'd seen this shelf project on another YouTube channel, and then also on a shopping channel. Okay, now that I got one edge jointed, I'm going to go ahead and rip off the raw edge, and then I'll flip them and recut the jointed edge. Mostly because I'm still getting a little snipe at the very last inch or so of the board. I'm not quite understanding why. Something's not quite right on the jointer, so that's just going to true them up a little better. Now that I got these parts on, I think I'll go over to the belt sander and sand them up. After sanding those edges off, it's time to put a 45-degree miter on the ends of these. We'll go from long to long at 30 inches. Because there's a little chip out in this one I'm going to mark for a back piece, so this is actually up against the wall. I'll never be able to sand that much out. That one looks good on both sides. That can be a front. Long ones are done. I think we'll do them. These short ones are about 5.5. Anyhow, you guys get the picture. So first what I'm going to do is go ahead and measure this out. I got 5 9/16. So I want to take out a 3/8 dado on each side, so that'll give me 3/4. So 5 9/16 from 3/4 is 4 13/16, if my math is right. So that's how wide my shelves have to be, and use them to let me know how wide my dados have to be. What I'm going to do, I think, is just use a single blade and just creep up on either side of the lines and work the way out. Anyhow, we're going to rip this maybe be able to get 2 pieces of 4 13/16 out of it. And now, let's go 28. We're gonna need 6 of these at about 28. Okay, I'm gonna offset the bottom ones just a little bit. We'll go ahead and take a chunk of this. I'm using the edge of the table top to kind of square everything up. I think we're gonna leave the center one and bump the top one up 3. And that will be the bottom again. There, now those are all of our dados marked out. Now I got to set the skills or the table saw up for 3/8 of an inch. So instead of throwing the dado stack in here, I think I'm just going to use the miter gauge single blade. Bring these lines around the corner so I can see where they're at. I think that'll be fine for this. Just gonna clean it up a hair more. There, that's much better. Okay, here's the dado. I've got 11 more to do, so I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. So I'm using the old blue tape trick on here, if this tape is any good. That was probably quite a bit of glue there. So we'll go ahead and do that. That glue bottle's got dry glue in the end of it, so we'll just liberally put the little on there. Get it lined up nice. Run the painter's tape around it. And get our angles nice and tight. Go ahead and check square. And there. Now one more. And because these are just end grain glued on the miters here, we're going to put some splines in, I think, just to dress it up. I'll probably use some more of that ash. I'm going to change out the blade to a heavier kerf. The width of that's 11/64 versus the other one, which is about 3/16. This will just give me a little bigger spline on the corners. I've been meaning to make a jig for this. Doing splines, but haven't got around to it yet. Okay guys, now because they're uneven, I'm going to go ahead and move the fence back. And now I already have my marks for where they have to set into. Now we have the same size notches. After messing around on the table saw for a little bit to get the right thickness of the splines, I'm going to go ahead and cut these down now. Well, at this point I didn't realize my microphones were off, but basically I added a liberal amount of glue to the slots and gently beat the splines into them, taking care to make sure the spline filled the entire slot. So anyhow, I'm letting those splines dry, and then I'll take them over to the bandsaw and cut them off, then sand everything real well, including the shelves, and then we can go ahead and put some finish on them. Once again, I'm just using 2 coats of Danish oil, wipe between coats. I put a keyhole bit in the router table along with lines on the fence for start and stop locations to give me mounting hardware. Okay guys, I seen this on YouTube. I thought it was a nifty trick, so although this is oiled so the tape's not going to want to stick to it at all, you just basically put a piece of blue tape over your keyhole slot, kind of make it so you see them, and I'm going to put a hole in mine because I don't have a black pen. Then you just transfer the tape over to the wall. And your hole should be in there for your screws. Like so. Now you got a nice stable mount for the shelving. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video on these shelves. If anyone wants me to try my hand at something else, leave a comment in the comment section. But like always, until the next video, hope everybody stays safe out there and lives life to the fullest. We'll see you in the next one.